Yeah. So welcome everyone. Today we'll continue our journey with the series Who I Am. Last time we talked about the four, the key component in this for our understanding. We will recap and then we'll continue. And this is one thing which is important. And once we are clear about it, then it becomes easy to get into whether we can say meditation or understanding ourselves. It goes hand in hand. So these are not two different things. Sometimes we struggle in meditation, and common reason is we are just jumping into meditation and then we say it's a hit or a miss. So if we understand the basics, then it really helps in doing it better, sustaining it, all those kind of things. So the question in front of us is always our understanding, how good that is or not. So that's what we are trying to do. So what we had talked about is the concept, in terms of the Vedic, going through our different texts, whether it's reference to philosophical, spiritual, psychological tradition, doesn't matter which way we look at it. And the Indian text, these Vedas or other reference that we keep making, they go thousands of years old. A lot of masters, great saints have worked on it and given us clarity. So when we are talking about mind, a lot of things comes into our, in our mind, but basically we can put them under four components, and which is mana, man, buddhi, which is your intellect, your ahankar, which is ego, or chitta, which is your, basically you can say mental storehouse, subtle mind in Indian philosophy. And understanding these four, what we did last time, sometimes it becomes tricky to clearly understand manas or mind or man, the buddhi part, which is relatively easy, but chitta sometimes gives more confusion. So man, which is our the intellect, the thoughts, the function is, it is responsible for your perception, your doubts, your desire, imagination, sensory coordination, all those things done by the man. It is acting as a bridge between your senses and the self, or what we call Atman. And this is where we have to be, what we say, the self-query. You calm down your mind and you go inside, or understanding yourself rather than just understanding others. That's where you try to understand the man in different, whether we say bhakti or other thing, poem, the man is always chanchal, which means it's very like a childlike, because it is the seat of thought, desire, and doubt. So it's taking you everywhere. And this is where we see that the man, which is, even if you go by the word itself, it means to think, to consider, perceive, feel. That's all what man does to us. It is certainly needed for a human to survive, but it's also taking us in all direction. So those are the two sides of man. Then the easy part out of these becomes your ahankar. Ahankar sometimes is referred as ego, but basically it's your identity. We are identified by many things. This is my business, this is my job, this is my family, this is my country, this is my, whatever you possess, whether it's your house, your, um, the money that you have, wisdom, whatever, we just attach ourselves. This is mine, I. And that becomes your uh, part of ahankar or ego or attachments. And then comes the buddhi and the chitta. So buddhi literally means intellect. You are able to understand this is the decision making, the judgment, and all. You're using your wisdom. Basically, you're learning throughout your life. Now, it is higher than the manas or man. It is essential for understanding truth or reality when we say, and because it is using the logic, right? Uh, that's where the buddhi comes into play. Now, out of all this, then comes the chitta, which we say it is a subtle mental field. It is, basically your consciousness, your mind stuff, uh, including your thoughts and everything. But chitta is one thing which really, if we really understand, if we really come down to, then we can help ourselves a lot. Now, sometime you may have heard that prasanna chit. People say prasanna chit. What does that mean? So, when typically we think prasanna chit means my mind is completely quiet, free from any agitation, like a water, like no waves in the water, absolute silence kind of situation, no emotional disturbance. And that's where it comes that we think, uh, is it the mind? Is it chitta? What are we referring to? But we don't say prasanna man, we say prasanna chit. And that's where, sometimes the confusion or the clarity is needed. And man is, as we said, is chanchal. So a lot of waves, a lot of desires, a lot of sensory coordination is needed. So your five senses always looking at something, smelling something, feeling, and all those things comes into uh, in our day-to-day life. So now comes, that we are taking a part of the chitta part. So understanding, what is chitta, that is important. The more clarity means you will be able to differentiate. Now, one thing you have to keep it in mind that what we are referring to is different dimension of intelligence or what we refer to as mind. And so we talked about the man part. We understand now. Let's get a little deeper into chitta, which will differentiate between the two, because you have to take them separately. So chitta is that dimension of intelligence which can give you, full access to the cosmos. Like it's a master key, actually. And this master key can open any door. And this master key is not something we can just go and say, okay, I have it, or I can just do in one, like an on-off switch. We'll have to work on it. It's not a one-time deal that I set in meditation half an hour and I'm done. And this is where the sadhana, what we say, comes into picture. So when we are talking about mind in general, right? You can divide it into like theoretically 16 parts, but we have looked into the four aspects, the buddhi, ahankara, manas, and chitta, which is differentiating these different elements, different dimensions of mind into four major categories. So once you know that, okay, wisdom, your intellect is clear, that's a buddhi. Whatever you are identifying yourself with, that's ahankara. Your memory part, your sensory connection with your self is your manas. Chitta is the pure intelligence. So that's the difference between man and chitta. So man is still with your senses and then connecting to yourself. But chitta is pure intelligence. Now, buddhi, we do say intellect. So what is buddhi doing? Buddhi is giving us power that we can influence, we can change, we can improve our comfort, our convenience of life. So the wisdom, when you read something, you understand new concept, you can make some changes, you can create technology. That is the wisdom, intellect. It's making our life more comfortable, more easier. Today we have all kind of gadgets, technology. That is because of the our intellect means buddhi. We learned, we understood over the centuries. The way we were living 500 years ago and now is totally different. Why? Because we have made use of our intellect, buddhi part. Intelligence is different, which is chitta, and this is pure intelligence we are referring to. So buddhi, you know, and manas, they are connected because it's like you need the memory bank. I learned something, I read or went through something. If I don't have a memory bank, it will be lost. So buddhi and the memory, they are linked. So buddhi and man, they are linked. If I read and I forget tomorrow, no use. You may have, recall that, when we were studying, whether school, college, university, doesn't matter, there will be some people who will read once and remember everything forever kind of thing, and they will get very good marks. There may be some other students who will read 5 times and yet they cannot remember when the exam time comes. They will forget everything. They will get low marks. So the input came, but whether you can hold it or not. So that's where the buddhi and the manas connection comes. So that's the buddhi and manas. The ego or identity is clear. Whatever is with you, kind of connects yourself with this. And then comes, to understanding chitta, which is, the intellect part, the memory part that we are talking, pure intelligence. So which part of mind, or, sometime when we refer, that we are referring it to. So you see, we have different kind of memory. So when we say pure intellect, or when we are referring to pure intelligence, what does that mean? Pure intelligence, so you have to understand how we function. It's not just what we read and all those things. Our body has a lot of intelligence. Whether you read something or not doesn't matter. Whether you go to school or not doesn't matter. So, for example, you take, say, an animal, doesn't go to school, yet the baby is born, baby grows, from a small animal, you get into a full size, whatever the species is, same like humans. Why? The body has the intelligence. Body knows. Our each cell has intelligence, and we have trillions of cells in our body. Every cell knows what to do next, when to multiply, when to, the cell is about to die and I have to generate a new one. How to regulate the temperature of the body, how to regulate the pH of your blood, how, all those functions in our bodies are having automatically. Where that intelligence is coming from? We are not telling our body what to do. That means there is some intelligence. And this memory, what we call, goes at multiple levels. As we said, it is at a cellular level. Then we have the evolutionary memory. We have come, what we say, from ape to now, millions of years. The body has that memory that, okay, this is where I am. Within the family, within your, the family, you have genetics memory. It has that information. As typically we say, oh, it's in my genes. Why? That information, that memory is there. That energy, which we call as memory. Your karmic memory is there, what we call karma, your ancestors' karma. Typically we say this, our DNA, it has information about 22 previous generations. So all those karmic energies are there. We have conscious, unconscious memory, subconscious memory, all those informations, that information is with you whether you're aware or not, doesn't matter. We think our brain is the powerhouse in terms of, this intelligence. No. Now we know that your gut is more influential on your health, on your well-being than your brain. And it's not just your gut, it is each cell of your body which has that power, to go on like on the plane, we say, hey, put on the auto mode. Or now the autonomous vehicles, cars are coming. But our body, for millions of years, it's been built autonomous mode. That's what we say, autonomous nervous system. That means most part of those critical operations are done without our influence. And thank God it is like this. Otherwise, what a mess we could have created. Imagine. So now when we are talking about Chitta, so it is that dimension that is not spoiled, not touched by any kind of memory. You may have karmic memory, you may have evolution memory, you may have genetics. It is not influenced, it is not touched, it is not spoiled, it is not destroyed or distorted by those. It's this pure intelligence. That is Chitta. Whether it's me, you, or anyone, the cell knows, the body has that information. Okay, even the trees, the animals, everyone has. You plant a seed, tree will come. Just from a seed, a big tree is coming. That's pure intelligence. Consider that as Chitta. So it doesn't matter your karmic and all, what has happened or not. The two babies, they will grow. Yes, their behavior will be different. Their attitude in life will be different. That is the man part. But they will grow. Every year you will see their bodies growing. They are getting into, from child to youth to adult. That is Chitta. One which is connected to your, the five senses and all those things, based on how they observe around them, they will go different ways. That's okay. But Chitta path is still the same. So it has no influence by the mind part. It is not getting distorted. It's not like the mind will change my Chitta or destroy it. Your genetic memory, all kind of these memory will not influence. That means if karmic record, if my genetic record, if no such record is able to influence this part of my intelligence, and if I can somehow reach this intelligence, imagine Chitta is with you, Chitta is in your kind of access, you have the access to your Chitta. You got the most powerful tool in your hand. If it is not distorted or influenced by anyone, you can only imagine. Access is also restricted. So suppose you go to a public place, you go to a public library. You have all kinds of people, anybody can walk in. It is a public library. Whether you are from the same city, whether you are from different city, different country, you can walk in. But if you want to borrow a book, then they will say, show me your ID. If you have access, If you have the permission, they will allow you to borrow the book. If not, they will say, sorry, you can sit here and read, but you cannot borrow it. You cannot take it. So similarly, there are different modes, different levels in our body. And that's one way to understand the mind and the chitta. So mind, yes, your senses, everything is connected. You have action reaction going on, but chitta is much deeper. It's not on the surface, it's much deeper. That means you have to go deep in order to access it. There is a term in our Indian text that we use, samsara. Samsara doesn't mean family. It's not like the family life. It means your cyclic life. You know, we say we born many, many lives, reborn, right? We take rebirth, um, hundreds of lives. Why? Because the soul is learning and going towards mukti, liberation. So what does it mean? Every life I'm working on something. It's like going from different grades. I'm completing the high school, then go to college or university or PhD. Just like that, soul is going level to level. So chitta is one which gives you full access, like the example of library we were talking about. So imagine it is that card which gives you full access to all whatever you want. You can go and borrow. Otherwise, you have access to certain journals, but not the books. You have books, but not this. Here, you can go and access anything you want. That's chitta. But imagine, not everybody can get that kind of license or that kind of access. In other terms, imagine the president of the country or prime minister of a country. You may have access to all kind of confidential information, classified information. But normal public will not have access to that. It will be a disastrous situation when if everybody has, then there's no classified left anymore if everybody knows everything. And it may be a chaos. Same thing happens in our body. The senses have certain access. But there are big part where we don't have access. That intelligence is governed by chitta. So imagine I have access to my chitta. I can always maintain my blood pressure, always maintain my pH, always maintain my sugar. I can always maintain all kind of parameters in my body. I will be healthy and happy. No diabetics, no blood pressure, no arthritis, nothing, because I have access to that. Of course, it's not that easy. And for that, you need to work. And that's where the meditation comes into play. And that's why we say dhyana, that's why we say bhakti, that's why we say all kind of, your sadhana that takes you slowly. You get different access as you keep going up. So like from our previous example, from a normal public, suppose you become a member of parliament, you get some access. Now you become a minister, you get some more access. You become prime minister, now you got more access. So you go level by level. In meditation also, you go level by level. Keep working, keep improving. The ahankar part that we talked about, that is something that is to be worked on because that is a big barrier in accessing your chitta. You are identified with many, many things. So manage your identity. We come from work, we are still thinking about work. And we think, oh, I wish I could disconnect. Once I'm home, I should be home. When I'm sleeping, I should be just sleeping. Why should I be thinking about everything? So starting point is what we say commonly, be in the moment. Whatever you're doing, just be in that particular, focus on that part. You're eating, focus on eating. Don't do 10 things. That's the very first step, accessing your chitta. Chitta is your pure intelligence, basis of life. And once you can hooked on to this, whatever you want, you get it. You affirm and you get it. Why? Because now you have access to that power, that free access, and everything is accessible. But you have to go deeper and deeper into you. That means more and more sadhana. That means truly, I mean, of course, you sit and meditate. The point here is how good is your meditation? You say, yeah, I get a lot of thought. That's okay, keep working. How to improve? You have to understand things, these topics, and then you can improve. You have to understand what it means by forgiveness, what it means by accepting people as is, detachment. That will help improving your sadhana. When you improve your sadhana, you will have more and more access to your chitta, your pure intelligence. So, masters, in order to understand who I am, you have to reach deeper state. Chitta is one of that thing that if you can access, the more you access, the better you become. And this is the reason it's not a one-shot on-off switch. You go through your wisdom, you understand different topics, but connect the dot. Join from one to another. Go from one level to the next, just like we go in the higher grades in school or university. And then you know better and you become better. So that was for today, masters, and we'll take any questions that you have or clarification that you may have. So feel free to unmute yourself and ask, or if you want to share anything, your experience. So yes, please feel free to do so. Yes, Rindya ji. Go ahead.
Yeah, somebody else.
Okay, you carry on. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Guruji, I'm in the car, so in case the internet connection goes off, you can shift to somebody else.
Sure.
Yeah. One thing you talked about Chitta, and you explained, it's you have to go deep to access and its pure intelligence. So it's basically you're talking about some information and memory and that kind of thing with Chitta. But we use the same process to connect to our soul also, right? Go deep through meditation. So is this all connected? So Chitta.
So it's a state like we go in levels. So first, when we get into meditation and all, the first level is you are working at the man level, your manas. You are just working on your senses. Because right now, I'm in trying to, close my eyes, sit in meditation, but my mind is somewhere. In the sense, my senses, my thoughts, my desires, which is the seat where it is, it's in my my mind, what we call. And then when we say that mind, we are referring to the man, because my senses are pulling me in every direction. So the difference will be the first stage of your sadhana will be self-query. That I am able to get and try to understand yourself. We know others. We spend all the time talking about others. Do I even work on myself? Do I really understand who I am? Like there is a term cognition, metacognition we talk about. That is being aware of yourself. Do you even think about your thinking? And that is the main thing. So what happens here is once you start knowing, okay, this is who I am, these are my thoughts, this is how I think, this is what is going on. And then can we continue working on that? So many times you will see people are aware of their shortcomings, their issues, they're not able to fix it. You are still stuck in that first step. Or then you go to second stage, then you go to third stage. Just like a rocket, you go, from Earth to the moon. There are stages. Rocket is a rocket. You can say, yes, it's lifted. But there are different stages which takes you higher and higher and higher. In this case, we are talking deeper and deeper and deeper. So first you start working on your mana, using your intellect, buddhi. You have to drop your ego or attachments, what we call ahankara, in order to get to your chitta. So chitta is the deepest kind of deep underwater, on the bottom of the ocean kind of thing. So yes, I am diving, but I am at the surface, then 10 feet, then 20 feet, and I'm going deeper and deeper. So I'm crossing all these levels, first the different levels of mana before I can reach chitta. The tool
Yeah.
is meditation, yes. But
So
before meditation, we are getting into those, the self-query, understanding and all that.
thank you. That explains it. And once you access it, you kind of mentioned pure intelligence and you mentioned about health information. We can take care of our whatever BP and other things. Can you give more detailed listing about what kind of information you're talking about?
See, actually, the health or other things is a very superficial thing that I'm just as a reference. I was talking so that it's easier to understand. But chitta is much, much, much deeper because, when we are into meditation, the very initial stage itself, you will see a lot of benefits. Same, whether it's BP, whether it's arthritis, all those things. Just by diet and by a bit of meditation and this, you can achieve those health benefit. That is the initial part itself. But when you really get into chitta means deeper sadhana, you are into deeper level, you will be like truly blessed. You can only imagine when your karmas are not affecting you, when your genetics are not affecting you, when all kind of memory is not affecting you. I mean, you are basically having it's like a Superman or superpower that you have in your hand.
So it's a state of mind. Right.
State of soul, you can say, or because again, we are talking about mind, so and that's why we are dividing or
I
differentiating
know.
mind.
Okay. So
So, if we take from that perspective, from being or from soul perspective, you are pretty much at the liberation level, put it this way, if you understand that way, like easier.
thank you, Gaurav. Thank you.
Welcome. Because you cannot achieve liberation without achieving some access, some level of chitta part, because otherwise we'll be on the surface. I see a question from Deepti ji that there are imaginary layers of human mind being named differently, or do they actually exist? Uh, Various kind of thoughts. Okay. So see, Deepti ji, it's not a question of theoretically differentiated or described or talked about kind of thing. Of course, the division, the four main category is a division, it's a concept. But this is what our great masters have used to access the information. Like when we talk about, great sages who have written Vedas, who have written different texts, it has been referred again and again that they got that download, that wisdom from God, from universe. And then they kind of documented it and all those things. So how did they reach that stage where they got all that information from the universe? Thousands of years ago, they were aware how universe is working, what is where, geologically and other ways that science is now proving. We knew about microparticles. Now science is proving only in 100 or 150 years these atom, electrons, protons, all kind of things, which they were aware. Because without technology, without anything, how did they manage to travel, to be, or understand galaxy, understand our all the solar system and other galaxies and whatnot? So it's not just our kind of, hypothetical concept. This is, if we understand the referring, that yes, we are attaining a level where we are kind of getting to a place where we are accessing that intelligence. So some part of it, is it theoretical? Of course, we are kind of referring it, but is it pure imaginary? No. And those texts, those information that we still have is the proof of that. That no ordinary man can reach that part intelligence. And that's why Chitta is that pure intelligence. That is not just by reading books and something they came up with this. They came up with the information that didn't exist.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead, Shrividya.
Um, Sir, now the thing is to get a pure intelligence, that is the chit. So we get lot of good inputs and bad inputs, which we are feeding it to the mind through sense organs. And now the feeding happens to the mind, like desire, whatever, through the sense organs, we get all the inputs and we're feeding it to the mind. And from there, the intellect, that is the buddhi, where the logical thinking happens. If we take the, if when we are feeding the good inputs, now suppose for example when we see an individual, we get both the criterias. One thing it will tell, see that person is bad, he did so many things for me, like that. And the other instantly, it will tell, oh, if at all, if we are somewhere in the starting stage of meditation, I'm just telling you an example, it will tell, no, no, let us not think about that, he's still a right person. So there will be a controversial thing that will be happening in the mind with the good inputs and the bad outputs about an individual. I'm just telling you an example. Now, the buddhi, if at all, the buddhi, then it means that we have to train in such a way that the buddhi should give us the good output. See, he is a nice person. If, even though if he has done a mistake, let me forgive him. So what I'm asking you the question is, so we have to train our mind so that the intellect will give you in a logical way of thinking, which is, its main job is logical thinking. So it should tell, yes, that person is a nice, let me not take him in a wrong way. So which one we have to train, sir? Somewhere there I need some more, I need your thing in depth. I want to get an information about that.
Okay. See, Chitta is much above your physical brain, or even the, what we are talking about, the higher self or inner self, well, actually not higher, but what we call. And it is, uh, it's, it's not like man or the brain, right? That is, a brain is a separate part. But when we say the man, now we talk about the senses, right? Now the senses are pulling us in different directions. Senses makes us run around because they will dictate. They will say, okay, this is my desire, these are my thoughts, this is what I'm perceiving, this is what I'm feeling. So that's what man is doing to you. Now, man is linked to your senses, but whereas Chitta is much deeper than that. It is not linked. It is not touched by any one of these. So what happens is all your emotions, he said this, she said this, or this happened, or that happened, it's all coming from your senses. But when you are in deep meditation, think about that, that you are in deep meditation, you are not, your eyes are closed, not looking at anything, you are not hearing, or even if there is noise around you, it doesn't bother you because you have achieved that level of meditation, for example, right? So basically, all the senses are cut off when you are in real deep meditation. So whatever is happening around is not influencing you. Whereas on a normal time, or even when you are just starting kind of thing, when you are in the initial phase, you're just trying to understand who you are. You are sitting with eyes closed, you started, doesn't matter, some people maybe days, month or year, but you can hear the noises. You said, I'm getting disturbed. I need a peaceful place to meditate. Why? Because I'm not at a level where it doesn't matter what is happening beside me, I can meditate. Nothing wrong in it. It's stages. So we stay with the man. To achieve chitta, you have to really go deep before you can say, yes, I've crossed that level. So all this, what is happening, pulling in different direction, good, bad, and the ugly, he said, she said, those kind of typical human reactions, these are all governed by the upper level, you can say the man. As you understand more and more, as you use your wisdom, you will go deeper and deeper. Someone says, dhyan karo, aisa karo, vaisa karo, or close your eyes, this is the process, do it. That is one statement. You may start, but that may not be enough for you to achieve the deeper level. You may need to know more. Now you're doing more, you're still struggling. No, I'm still having a lot of thoughts. Then you understood, okay, because you have a lot of, anger, a lot of jealousy inside you. Then you worked on your different topics. You started forgiving, you started accepting people as is. Now there is a peace inside. Now I can sit and meditate with less thoughts. Then I've understood, gratitude, that I should be thankful rather than crying and whining. I should be thankful for what I have. Now I'm having more peace inside. So with the wisdom, I'm improving my capabilities and I'm going deeper level. So from the surface, from the man, at one time, if I can get to a chitta level, that will be huge. But to understand the difference, I'm going from man to chitta, if that helps in understanding.
So for the lay person, we have to train the mind or the intellect for the lay person before he sits
Mind.
for the meditation. Mind. Okay.
We say monkey mind.
Mm-hmm.
In the layman terms, I'm telling you, because even we are breaking down different ways, like what is mind, right? And then we say what is difference between manan and chitta now. So we are breaking down the mind only, because we commonly refer mind as for all the above. Chitta also we say mind, the man is also mind, ahankara is also mind, wisdom is also mind. So that's why when we say we are breaking it down.
Sir, that means like now for me, let me take it now. Anything which I do, if something I know I'm doing here something wrong, I should not do this. So whether the intellect is giving me the direction to the mind, and then I execute an action, or how it is.
You have the wisdom what is right, what is wrong. If you have enough willpower, you will be able to overcome your senses. Okay? But when we don't have enough willpower, we will not be able to execute it. You have the wisdom, but to execute, you need willpower.
Hmm. Okay.
It is the inner strength to resist impulses, make conscious choices. I know I want to give up tea. I know it is the right thing to do. Or I know I want to give up, I'm having a lot of sugar or whatever. I want to wake up early. But that's where we say you need willpower, Ichha Shakti, Sankalpa. There are different way we can express it, which we will take next Sunday. What are these different elements of willpower? Dhrati, Shraddha, which we say faith. What are these? What's the role of willpower? Because right now we say go from man to chitta. Just to understand the difference between man and chitta. Superficial level, deeper level. Basically, it is intelligence. Mind is a generic term we are using. We are saying these are different level of intelligence. Chitta, of course, that's a super level where you want to be if you're talking about the dimension of intelligence.
Then in my case, it's a long way to go for Chitta.
You think, oh, you are the only one?
No, I cannot comment about others. I have to mm, talk about myself in this session.
No, I agree. The reason I'm saying this, Sri Vidya ji, because everyone is in the same boat. Getting to Chitta is not that easy. Even
Yes,
even big monks or big means the monks or the saints, it's not easy for them either. That just sit and get to the Chitta level. So all I mean is the reason I was saying this, we should not feel disheartened or we should not feel discouraged. It is not something one can do in a day or two.
correct.
It's a journey. So you are even thinking about it. You are working towards it. It's, we should pat our back. That great. At least I'm at that level where I'm thinking about it.
Mm,
And we should always compliment ourselves that I'm taking baby step towards that big leap.
correct.
It will not come in a day. First, we should accept the gap. Otherwise, we cannot fix anything. If I say, no, I don't have ego problem, I will never fix. First, I have to accept I have a ego problem or ego issue, if I don't want to call it a problem, or I have to work on ego, whichever way I take it. If I don't accept I need to improve on this, how can I improve? That is the first step of accepting. Then come, okay, I need some information, how to do, what to do, where to go. And then I need to execute those steps, what I have learned. I can learn theoretical everything, the meditation, the pranayam, the yogas and topics, spirituality, but I execute nothing. It's useless. Doesn't matter how much buddhi, how much wisdom I have collected. If I don't execute, zero value. But other example, I have only learned 10%, but I'm executing full 10%. It's much better. And that is why we take rebirth, because if it was that simple in one birth, we should have liberated 0 to 100.
Correct.
So it's not easy, but walking that path is important. And that's why clarity is needed, because again, it's like a funnel. I'm not able to meditate. Why? Okay, because of this, because of this, because of this. So the more you understand, the better your meditation become. And that is why, again, the series Who I Am, that's where people struggle. But you cannot get just one answer. I type this and I understand. And that's why it is important to clarify. You are at least asking, clarifying. This is huge. So Deepti ji, what you are asking, is it the same layer we get connected to great masters? Uh, Not really, because connecting to great masters, you may have experiences during your meditation. That's your journey. Whether I have experience or not, whether I connect or not, I mean, connecting is a good thing. Don't take me wrong. All I mean is it's not a prerequisite. It is not that if I don't connect means I'm not getting anywhere. You get only what you need Like universe will give you if you need. If you don't need any experience, if you don't need any out of body, astral or any kind of thing, why should you have it? So if somebody says I have, other person says I have nothing, that doesn't mean one is better than the other. It's our journey, our sadhana, and universe is taking us from one level to the other. Whatever is needed for me at this point of time of my sadhana, not 5 years down the road. Just like if I'm in grade 5, I get exam, a question paper of grade 5, not grade 10. So it's a good thing if you are getting connected, but the one who is not getting connected should not feel, or if I am getting connected, some experience doesn't mean I have achieved chitta. No, that's much deeper level, much deeper. Yes, Mitaji, please go ahead.
Guruji, I heard your last week's session and also attended today's session and listened to all the questions. And I feel I'm still novice maybe in understanding what is Chitta. I still have the same question that I asked you in the chat. Chitta is, I understand the final destination where you're able to achieve anything like super powers or anything that you can achieve. But I'm thinking, what is it? Is it anything like physical form or is it a stage? And I know the beginning, I know the ending, but I don't know what it is actually at Chitta. Still, I don't know. I still have the same question. I may sound silly, but
Well, that's okay. Take your time. You may go over, like typically I go on any new concept 3 times, to grasp it fully. But chitta, like we said before, it is virtual. It's not physical.
yeah, I got that. And I feel I have still got the misconception. I was thinking mana, mind, chitta, all three, one for the other.
No,
Until now.
that's what we clarified. Your
Yeah.
brain is different. Your man is, of course, now you're getting into your senses and all those things. And
Yeah.
chitta is a much deeper part. So if very, very like simplified way you want to understand, that is the first level. That brain is brain. We call it mind, but it's a brain,
Yeah.
physical. When we start into virtual thing, then first is what we call mana, right? That's where your senses and your soul, that connection is coming. That is playing all the things. And then comes your chitta, which is much deeper. That is basically, these are level of intelligence,
Okay.
right? So level of intelligence, like level of governance, you have a district level, you have a state level, you have a country level. So your brain is, of course, the physical and all, which we can refer, we can see. Man, you starts now virtual. You are having your senses playing the role. And now you are starting with the level of kind of self-realization. This is your first stage when you get into understanding who you are, or sadhana or meditation. You're just getting self-query. That is the first step. You are playing around. You are not going any deeper. You're not influencing any your autonomous program or autonomous anything kind of thing. You're not at that intelligence level at all. You are at a very like surface level. And then as you continue working on your meditation or sadhana, which whatever, whether you do breath work or yoga, and then you get deeper level of man first before anyone gets into chitta. Chitta is much, much, much deeper. So then what happens? We say, oh, my this physical ailment got fixed, or my this got fixed. So it's not that you have achieved chitta. It's just you are working on the levels of mind itself. First thing what will happen is your senses will not make you run around in all direction. You will have better control on yourself.
Yes.
Right? I get a smell of food and I run and I eat. I have no control on myself. Right? I hear good music, I leave what I'm doing and dancing or playing with my friends. I have no control on myself because my senses are pulling me everywhere.
So you're using your willpower to exercise self-control.
You will use your willpower, you will use your wisdom to work with your buddhi part. You learn something, but if you cannot hold, if you have no memory, that information will be useless after 2 days because you don't remember anything. So first, the combination of these three will work for you to go deeper in your sadhana. You are only working with your man. You learn, you understand, you execute.
I feel that that using willpower to exercise and self-control, I feel that I could do that at most of the times. Then what am I supposed to work next on? That's my question, I guess.
Well, this is not a one-time deal that, okay, I have willpower, I can do this, because it's like you have 100 chapters, you may achieve one. That doesn't mean you pass the exam. You have to go through all 100 chapters. So when we say I've worked with your man, that is only one small element of, one that we are referring to. You are talking about all five senses. You are talking about that, okay, do I have full control over them? Have you really achieved that, okay, I'm not, I hear anything, I don't get emotional. Well, you can only achieve that level if you can accept people as is, if you can forgive people, if, right? So to achieve that level when within family life, we are not saying monks, because for them it may be a little easier because they have less issues, no, like, from the interpersonal thing. I'm not saying zero, they have less from a family life. But within the family life, have I achieved everything? I say, yeah, before I was yelling at people, say once a day, now I do once a week. Okay, it's better, but it's not perfect, or it's not,
Right.
I have not gained full control in order to say I am now ready to go to Chitta.
When I said self-control means that things that I need to do for my sadhana, like not getting tempted to sit and watch TV, but join our programs or meditate or yoga, exercise, whoever is at home, wherever they're doing, I just continue with my, like that I said to for myself regarding what I had to do for my sadhana. But the example that you gave me a bit better understanding when you said about give example of hearing or you know in the family life and all that gave me better that yes we are not, so there's a lot to work on.
Exactly. And we are, another simplified way to understand is we are still working on a man level. We are not working at Chitta level to differentiate.
And it's a long way to go. You just work on mana, so it's very
Absolutely.
just
Absolutely. Now, should I be worried whether I will reach or not? When will I reach Chitta? No.
no.
Continue until you reach what we say Prasanna Chitta, at least. If I'm at a stage where it doesn't matter what is happening, I'm in my family life, I'm contributing and doing everything. It's not like I'm not working with the members or society or whatever, but yet I'm blissful. That's the place where first anyone would like to be.
So when you are at the stage of stability, no matter what's going on, you're not falling down from that level of stability.
Correct. Exactly.
Got it. Thank you.
I'm still with mana, but that's a very good level of mana. And
Yes.
again, these are concepts, so one should not worry, oh my God, I'm still with mana. Oh, you may spend whole life with mana, nothing wrong in it.
Yeah.
Question is, which level of mana am I? Am I at the beginning level, or am I where 20 hours in a day I can say, yes, I've been consistent. 5 days a week, I'm consistent, maybe 2 days, whatever happens. Then after some time, I may say, oh, now pretty much 6 days I'm at that level, or 7 days. That's the target. It's not a question where I am, but to understand the different level of intelligence. So whether it's mana chitta, we should just take it as a different level of intelligence, because in general people use loosely mind, whether I'm referring to mana, the brain, the buddhi, or chitta, and all that. That's what I mean. So once we have this clarity, it just helps in keep working towards that. That's all. Or if someone is saying something, you hear a video or to someone and someone says chitta, someone says mana, and you may get confused. What are you talking? Then at least having this clarity, what means what, will help you in absorbing that wisdom better.
Okay. One just little example. So, is it still my ego or attachment when I say that clearly someone has been unfair or injustice or been not just or you feel your respect and integrity had been challenged and all, and you speak up for yourself. So is that still that it's my ego and I that's actually affecting me? And
See, within this, it's very difficult to comment, but remember there are two forces working. One is your soul plan, right? So you requested someone for your benefit, for you to improve on certain thing. The other side is that you are working whatever the energy gap for you to get better and better and better. So it may be a matter of for you to improve your, say, self-esteem or self-confidence or whatever, right? You are not able to defend yourself. So someone should stood up and say, no, wrong is wrong, or, don't bully me, or don't, do this kind of thing. So it's a delicate balance between the two. So you'll have to see that, okay, other person is doing this, that's their business. Why I'm, like a vibrating, I'm getting
yeah.
disturbed, why I'm getting so much off my track. So the moment you can say, yeah, okay, this person did this, what it means for me. Is it my problem, his problem, or is it my soul plan? And you can quickly, filter that information that, okay, this is what is happening. Then you say yes. Initially, you react, then your reaction will go less, less, less. Because now you're understanding better, 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 better. And then you will come to a point and you will say, this person attitude is this, nothing to do with me. That is his nature. He has to work on it. I will not comment, right? But if this is happening with me, I have to improve this in me, or I have to ignore this, or whatever that conclusion is for you to work. And the moment you work on you, the negativity in your life will come down from that particular perspective point. And when you complete that part, you will see that element, that person will change, and that will go away because you have learned the lesson. That is the simplest way to understand you are on the right path, you have improved or not.
So your logical thinking, whether it's their attitude or something that's with them, or is it something with me that I need to work on? That decision seems to be very crucial. And I don't know whether we do it right or wrong at this every time.
Well, for you, the most important person in life is you. You're only changing you, no one else. You change yourself, the world around you will change.
Change. Okay.
This is the bottom line. And this I have seen over and over and over. So beyond any doubt, with different people. You only change yourself, the world around you will change. They will change without you changing them. And you'll wonder, what happened? Now they are a different personality. Nothing happened to them. You only change yourself. So if somebody is getting, bullied and all, it's not that you get bullied. No, you defend yourself. The moment you have courage to defend yourself, the bully person will stop bullying. For example, I'm just giving a reference.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't change the other person. You only improved your defensiveness. That, okay, I'm not reacting to you, but no, you cannot, put me down, or you cannot do this. So the moment you stood up, the moment you are defending yourself in the right way, right, you will see the other behavior changing, the negativity going away from your life. That doesn't mean for everything we react, we fight with people. It's not a question of fighting and all. There's a delicate balance between self-esteem, self-respect versus, I have ego and I'm reacting always on others. Someone is trying to tell you, giving good advice, hey, you have this characteristic or this behavior, or you have this personality trait or whatever. And you say, how dare you tell me this? Boom, boom, boom. And you shoot down the messenger. Then the person will say, oh, okay, you don't like hearing it? So be it, deal with it. I will not give you feedback. So there is a delicate difference. Get the feedback, get the understanding, and then decide what you are doing.
Okay. I have still one question, but I want to talk to you on one-on-one regarding this anytime on the phone, or whenever we
Sure.
connect. Because
Yeah,
it's something personal. I want to work on something. I'll talk to you on.
sure. We can, and
Yeah.
I have to also stop now. It's a hard stop. I have to go. So, perfect. So then, Masters will connect next week. We'll continue this journey. And, thanks for all the questions, the discussion you bring. This really helps everyone. Thanks.
Thanks a lot,
Gigi.
sir.
And
Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you, Gauravji. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Had
Thanks a
been
lot.
really
Sir.
very
Thank you
interesting.
so much, sir. Thank you.
welcome, and then we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.